Hello and welcome to the Keystone Sports Network. I am Jim Galante with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Coach Carolyn Kieger. Coach Kiegs, great to have you on again.
Pleasure to be here again.
It's been a while since you and I have chatted.
Yeah.
Anything new happening? New season, new players, a lot going on, isn't there?
It is. We're right around the corner from obviously our first game. So we open up with Bucknell on Monday. Got a brand new roster. You know, we got Gracie Merkel, Mariah Murray, Victoria Santana, and Shea Steele returning. And then they got a whole nother roster for you to learn. But super fired up about what we did this offseason in the portal, what we did with our freshman class. And then obviously we got a lot of new staff members that I think are going to be huge for us. So big things happening, and we're ready to push the needle.
Well, let's start with that. College sports in general has changed so much. It's not the same game it was just even 4 or 5 years ago. First of all, for you as a coach, how much does that change what you do and how you handle things?
Yeah, I mean, you're really becoming more of a CEO now, right? You're managing an entire operation and business, as you will, now with revenue share and where name, image, and likeness has kind of gone and gravitated. So now it's figuring out how much do you blend the new age with the X's and O's and the player relationships and the culture building and the culture driving to agents and obviously fundraising and donor relations. So it's a whole new era, but one that obviously everybody has to embrace and everybody has to pivot and get used to.
Forgive me for my ignorance on this. We're used to talking about football players having agents. Your players have agents now?
Absolutely.
Wow, I was not aware of that. That is different. That does make you more of a CEO, negotiating contracts.
Negotiating. We hired our first general manager in the Lady Lion program history, Jason Crafton. He's been in the WNBA, he's been in the NBA, he's been a Division I head coach, so he's got a lot of experience with just contracts and the different ways that it's been in the NBA, and now it's obviously trickling even into women's sports, into college. So it's, like I said, it's an adjustment. It's a lot to learn, but it's necessary. And the young ladies are reaping the benefits of, all the work that's gone before them and all the people that have paved the way. And, no doubt these women are standing on the shoulders of the giants who come before them. And now it's up to us to make sure we can continue to push this program back in the NCAA tournament.
Let's go back. You mentioned a couple names. Let's go through a couple of those names, talk about the individuals, the players that the fans can say, okay, that's who they should be following. That's who they should be looking to as leaders of this team.
Yeah, well, leaders, first of all, I'll start with Mariah Murray. Obviously, she's a returner for us. Just a phenomenal teammate, great commander and director on the floor. I don't think there's a selfish bone in that player's body. I just absolutely love who she is, what she represents. And
point guard?
She's more like a combo guard. I think she's one of the best shooters in the country, but uses her voice super well and just really high IQ. And then Amaya Evans, she's a pickup from us in the portal from Georgia. A lot of charisma, a lot of passion. Her dad was Reggie Evans, played in the NBA for 15 years. So she's been around the game so much, and just really love her motor and her intensity and her passion for the game. And Victoria Santana, another person who's been really vocal in the locker room and really vocal on the court.
Now, when you have a team that with so much changeover every year, does it take a little longer to get that cohesion, where it goes from a group of players, a group of talent to the sum of the parts?
It's definitely different because now with the transfer portal, I think all head coaches and all staffs are trying to figure out, you're not necessarily building a program of 4-year kids anymore, right? 4-year vets. You're building a team every year. So how do you get the cohesion? How do you get the synergy? How do you work on team building? And even just understanding how to play together, where people like the ball, what their strengths and weaknesses are. So obviously things that we have to spend extra time on, and we always did, right? Relationship building and culture building has always been, the cornerstone of what we do, but even more so now, for sure.
I'm sure it has to be. And is there a point where, like, how far into the season, or maybe it's even in camp, do you finally say, okay, it's now a team, and I know what I've got. I know what my team and who my team is. I
don't think you really see who your team is until adversity hits. I'm a big believer in you are who you are at your hardest moments. So I'm excited to see what this team is made of. I'm excited to play other people. We've had obviously a lot of opportunities to practice against ourselves and play against the practice squad, but Monday will be an awesome test for us.
It gets old quick that playing against that same guy.
It definitely does.
That's the thing on the basketball court. When all of from 1,000 years ago, even when you play pickup basketball with the same guys all the time, things get a little snippy.
Mundane, right? You need to change it up.
Yeah, you need to see someone in a different color uniform. But speaking of differences, I think, is really exciting as a longtime Penn Stater. You're going to switch venues a little bit here.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing more of Rec Hall.
Yep, we're going to play at Rec Hall in all but 3 games this year. I think administration did a phenomenal job, helping get that ready for us, and playing more of a home court advantage. The fans are right on top of you. We obviously know the tradition of winning at Rec Hall, and to be a part of that, it's going to be super iconic. And I think something our young women and our ladies are absolutely going to love.
What's the vibe for the team playing in that kind of venue versus Bryce Jordan?
I just think, it's a more intimate setting, right? The fans, you can hear them, you can feel them. And we love what volleyball has been able to do there. We love what the Lady Lions in the past have done at Rec Hall, just such a tradition of excellence. And we want to uphold that, but we also want to feel like it's ours. We want to feel like it's a home court advantage. And last year when we played at Rec Hall, we didn't even get to practice over there. So it felt like another road game. I feel like now, we're getting a locker room over there. We're going over there for more practices. And I think it's going to feel really much like it's ours.
Yeah. Well, and just full disclosure, where we are here, it's an NIL event, a bowling event, which is a lot of fun. For what does this kind of event mean? Yes, I know it's about money comes in that helps the team. But this is an opportunity for the players to mix with fans, the fans to mix with the players. What does this do for the team?
I mean, it's phenomenal. What we want the fans, we want the donors, we want the alumni, we want everybody to feel like they're a stakeholder in this company, as you will, right? This team, this program, because, as we coined the phrase, it takes a valley. And for us to get back to where we all want it, it's going to be more than just, blood, sweat, and tears from our players. It's going to be the whole community rallying around what Lady Lion basketball needs in order to get this thing back on the map. And I'm super thankful for the support we have in the community, the support we have from administration, and now our young women are excited to make everybody proud.
Well, I hope the fans will get to know, especially we see what a whiteout means at Beaver Stadium, but in a Rec Hall venue, the fans can mean so much, such a difference.
It can be a separator. And it can be a multiplier, a force multiplier for sure. And, I say it all the time, like every student athlete at Penn State deserves to feel special. They deserve to feel like it's their whiteout. Yeah. And I mean, I love the fan base of what Penn State means, and the Penn Staters. I mean, their passion runs deep, and I love that people bleed blue and white. And like I said, when success comes and our team does well, I know we'll continue to get more fans, but I think this team is going to be super entertaining. We're going to be really fast-paced. We're going to play extremely hard. We got 3-level scorers. We got an elite post player. We got an elite guard, some great shooters. So I think it'll feel a lot different than it had last year, and I really believe this team can be the one to hear our name called in March.
Well, and again, to have a venue like that, I spent a lot of my adult years in Philadelphia. I spent a lot of time at the Palestra.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, it's iconic. And Rec Hall is essentially, it's the same builder, a similar type environment. It's the crowd, just so many Big 5 games that I saw at the Palestra that I get a little bit excited. And that's the kind of environment I'm sure you're looking for here at Rec Hall.
You need an advantage. You need, the fans to be the sixth woman, right? We need to feel, because when we step into other Big 10 arenas, it's a loud, intimidating place to play. And I think our young women deserve that as well. And I know, Rec Hall can do that. But I know it comes with a price for us. The more you win, the more people will show up. And that's my duty to get this team to the point where people want to come watch it and are proud of the product we're putting out there.
Take the roof off the place.
Hey.
That's now, and you're playing in the Big 10 now. That's no easy task there. So you're going to have that kind of other venues when you're on the road. Yep. So you certainly want to have it at home. Just kind of a little segue to a little bit different. You talk about transfers coming in. and you also now have a couple international players coming in. Tell us about a couple of those players, which I think are really fascinating.
Taya obviously is an elite guard from France. She's played high-level basketball for her national team. Vicky from Switzerland. So both of those two have had phenomenal experiences playing for their country and playing against really high-level players. And I think they're really going to help us when it comes to performing in pressure in moments that we need experience out on the floor.
Well, I think the international game is so physical in the European leagues and the international leagues. There's a certain toughness too that comes with playing in that other league.
And just IQ, right? They have a sense and feel for the game. So
just the last question now: when you're bringing in players from the portal, you're bringing in international players. We know NIL. That's part of it, the finances of it. But you still want to differentiate. What is the sales pitch to come here and play at Penn State?
Well, I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, my goal is to be a transformational coach. I don't want it to feel transactional. I want to be a part of their life for the rest of their life in the next 40 years, and I want to help them become the best version of themselves. And it's not always easy. We talk all the time, awareness is key. And, my job is to make sure that they're developing as students, they're developing as women, and they're also developing as basketball players. So for me, it's okay. You're going to have a 360-degree view on your personal playbook. So let's talk about your mission. Let's talk about your vision. Let's talk about your core principles. Let's talk about life outside of basketball. It's got to be more than X's and O's. It's got to be more than finances. And for me, I would rather get out of coaching than it for just to be transactional. So I want to go after people who are elite competitors in every area of their life. And for me, it's like, how can I help be someone in your life that builds you up, that holds you accountable, but also gets you in a position to thrive, have your shoulders back, walk into any room, be a confident female, and just, be the confident, fun, loving, passionate, fuel the joy person that you can be.
Be a good Penn Stater.
Hey, amen. All right. Values. We are.
There you go. Coach Kiegs, thank you so much. I always enjoy talking to you.
You too, buddy. Appreciate you.
Keystone Sports Network.